Hi guys, I'm Erica of Erica's Joyful Oven. Today we're going to make some delicious cream of wheat parsad. This is a delicious Indian sweet usually enjoyed at Diwali and other Hindu festivities. And today I'm going to share my recipe with you guys. To make parsad, you'll need 2 pots. A heavy iron pot that you're going to cook the parsad in, and this is already heating on a medium heat, and a lighter saucepan that we're going to boil the milk mixture that's going to cook the cream of wheat. Into the saucepan, add 2 1/4 cups of full cream milk, 1 cup of water, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cardamom or elichie, 1 1/2 teaspoon of finely ground ginger, and a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. Stir the mixture together and leave it on a low heat until it comes to a boil. So by now the iron pot has heated up nicely, and I'm going to add in 1/3 cup of ghee or clarified butter. When the ghee has melted and it's nice and hot, I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of raisins that I've lightly washed. As the raisins fry, they're going to release all of their sweetness and flavor in the ghee, and it's going to flavor the parsad beautifully. Stir the raisins occasionally, making sure that they don't burn, and you'll know when the raisins are ready when they become nice and plump. Once the raisins have all puffed up nicely, we're going to add in 1 cup of cream of wheat. Stir the cream of wheat into the ghee and the raisins, making sure that there's no lumps and the cream of wheat is evenly coated in the ghee. We're going to patch or cook the cream of wheat on a medium heat, stirring every minute or so until it turns a beautiful golden color. In the meantime, I'm going to stir the milk mixture. At this point, it's now starting to come to a boil, and you want to keep a close eye on it, making sure that it does not boil over in the pot. If the milk mixture does boil over, it's okay. It's not going to affect the parsad, but it is going to mess up your stove. After 2 to 3 minutes, the cream of wheat has started to turn a light golden color, and you do want to remember to stir it every minute or so that it turns an even golden color. Because I'm not going to add any flour to this parsad, I'm not going to use the cream of wheat that comes in the box. Instead, I'm using the ones that come in the plastic packaging just because they're more fine in texture, and so they're going to give you a more fluffy and perfect parsad. You'll notice that I'm using a wooden dabbler to mix the parsad, but you can also use a wooden spatula. And apart from traditionally seeing parsad being made with a wooden dabbler, I also find that the parsad and cream of wheat does not stick to the dabbler as it would if I were to use a metal spoon. After 10 minutes, the cream of wheat has turned a beautiful golden color. It looks a little bit darker in the video than it actually is, but you want your cream of wheat to turn a beautiful golden color, not too brown, or else it's going to give you a brown parsad. Now we're going to add the milk 1/3 at a time, and you want to be very careful as you add the milk. It is going to sputter because of the hot pot, and you definitely don't want to get burnt while you're making parsad. With the first addition of milk, the cream of wheat is going to begin getting plump, and it's going to get a little pasty as you continue to mix. Add another 1/3 of the hot milk mixture, and you want to stir this constantly and with a little bit of elbow grease. All of the stirring is important to break up any lumps in the cream of wheat and also to give you a nice and fluffy parsad. And as you continue to stir, you're going to feel the cream of wheat get nice and thick, and we're going to add the last 1/3 of the milk mixture. You do want the milk mixture to be hot when it goes into the cream of wheat, and that makes sure that the cream of wheat cooks properly. And that means that you're not going to take the milk off the stove until it's ready to go into the cream of wheat. So now the parsad is almost ready. As the cream of wheat absorbs all of the liquids, it's going to get nice and plump, and as you continue to stir this, it's only going to get more and more fluffy. So while you stir, you definitely want to hold on to the pot using a pot holder, and you just continue to stir this. And as you do, you get to enjoy the amazing aroma of the ginger and the cardamom. It's been just about 3 minutes after the last addition of the milk mixture, and the cream of wheat has cooked all the way through. You'll know when the parsad is ready when it begins to pull away from the sides of the pot and it has a smooth surface. I find the best way to store this parsad is after letting it cool in the pot for 10 minutes. Place it into a bowl lined with wax paper and cover it immediately so that it does not dry out and it stays nice and moist. Here is the finished parsad. It is so light and fluffy, you can see it shaking a little as the plate shakes. As I break it apart, you can see how moist the parsad is. It's not very oily and it's so creamy and rich. It's just perfectly sweet and it's so aromatic with the ginger and cinnamon and the cardamom that we've added. It has just the right amount of raisins, and because we fry the raisins in the ghee, you get that natural sweetness throughout the parsad. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Be sure to like and subscribe to Erica's Joyful Oven on Facebook and YouTube, and check out my website joyfuloven.com. I'll see you guys next time with another amazing recipe. Bye guys.